Alright, Shalom. I'm going to start off with giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahshua, Bashim, Lakakadash, the ones to the Son Apostle of Great Most Shalom to the Lek. Hope this video will be edifying. And let's get into it now. Let me see. This Ezekiel chapter 30. Yeah. This Ezekiel chapter 35. Let me start at verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus said the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. And that's talking about Esau, Edom. You know, the Most High is going to lay their place desolate, man. You know, like the scripture says in Job 20, as well. And in Job 20 it says, it shall be ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. Ill. If you look into the word ill, there's nothing good coming out of that word ill. But also in Psalms, where it says their inward thought is that their houses should continue forever, which is not going to be the case, man. Which is not going to be the case at all. They are going to be destroyed, man. That's at the Bible. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, they will be destroyed, man. It doesn't matter how much F-35s, F-16 supersonic missiles, mother of all bombs he has. All that shit won't matter, man. You know, all that shit won't matter. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Right? You know, and that's exactly what Esau, Edom did. Like the scripture says in Obadiah 1 as well, how they were clapping when we were. Matter of fact, I'm actually just get it. Hold on. Yeah, so it says, this Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 9. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. You see, they're going to be cut off, but they're going to be cut off by slaughter, man. The Most High going to destroy them, man. You know, verse 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. You see, because the violence against the Jacob descendants, Esau is supposed to be our brother, but if you read in Genesis, you will see that Esau hated us because he sold his birthright to Jacob. You know, so Jacob took the blessing. You know, Jacob took the firstborn blessing. You know, and then what happened? Esau got angry. Meanwhile, he already sold his birthright to Jacob. So Esau got angry, and he said, you can read that in Genesis. He will seek to slay his brother Jacob, roughly paraphrasing the scripture. But the point is, this been passed down to generations, man. That hatred, it has never vanished. That's why these so-called white people, they hate us, man. They always hate us. They might act cool in your face and stuff like that, but really, they hate you, man. They hate you because they hate you. You know. But that's a whole nother topic. But verse 11, in the day that thou stoodest on the other side In the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them, right? So when the heathens did that, you know, when the heathens were sieging, Esau was also one of those heathens that was clapping, being happy for our downfall, man, and aiding them in our downfall. That's why it says in Lamentations 2, said that they were hissing, you know, and mocking us, saying, is this the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Which is supposed to be Jerusalem, right? Us as Israelites, you know, because Jerusalem is a place, it's a people before it's a place. Salakia, you know. So verse 12, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. You see, so they were happy once we got destroyed. They were rejoicing, feasting. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people, Israel, right? In the day of their calamity, yeah, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity, right? So, not only did he hate, but besides that, he also stole, rape, rob, murder, you know? Not only us, but everywhere that he went upon planet Earth. So besides that, he also stole, rape, rob, and murder wheresoever he went. And out of every, we were under every heathen captivity, right? So every heathen had us, the nation of Israel, in captivity for a certain amount of time. And the things that has been done unto us is the worst, man. You know, it hasn't been, let me read it. Daniel chapter 9 and verse 12. And he had confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven had not been done as had been done upon Jerusalem. You see, so under the whole heaven hasn't been done as has been done upon Jerusalem, showing you us as a nation, as a people, we got it the worst. You know, we got it the worst, man. You know, so you just have to think the buck breaking, for example, the buck breaking that they did to the Jamaicans, to the tribe of Benjamin, but not only to the tribe of Benjamin. It was actually all the tribes, if you think about it. You know, because these people are low, man. They filthy. You know, that's just how they are as a people. You know, they have no shame. They have no honor, no dignity. And just like their that Roman culture that they have, you know, such as that they show you in, for example, soccer, where you don't have private showers, so all these dudes be showering together, which is very weird, you know? Just seeing another man's nakedness and stuff like that. What the fuck is that all about? And it's mandatory, it's a must, you know? If you want to play high level soccer, football, that's one of the things that is important, man. You can't skip that, you know? So, yeah, it's just showing you that things are backwards, man. It's just backwards. So let's go back to Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed blood of the children of Israel by the force of thy sword, that's like of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. Blood is going to pursue them. You know, they're gonna feel it, man. Their wives, their children, their loved ones, they all gonna feel it, man. Esau, the so-called white man, Esau, he has things coming his way, man. And it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad. You know? It's gonna be real bad, man. Worse than slavery, man. And after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, he's going to be removed, man, deleted. No one gonna remember Esau anymore. Like the scripture says in Isaiah 14, Obadiah 1, Job 20, Job 20. Job 20 says how he's gonna be destroyed, but Isaiah 14 and Obadiah 1, you're gonna see that after 1,000 years, he's going to be cut off, man. Meaning there won't be no Esau anymore afterwards. So let me continue. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passed out, and him that returneth. You see, so they're gonna be destroyed, man. That's basically the point, actually. You know? And the Most High is not down with y'all, man. Even though the Most High, he didn't say nothing, he holded his tongue, right? That don't mean he's cool with y'all. You know? Y'all still gonna get it, man. You know? Y'all still gonna get it. You know? The scripture says, since thou thinkest that I am one such as thyself, roughly paraphrasing, but basically they think, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, he thinks that because he hasn't been judged, you know, he can continue on with his wickedness for now, right, for a season. He thinks that the Most High is down with them, you know, but the Most High is just waiting. He's waiting patiently until they have filled that cup, you know, and then they gonna drink, man. They gonna drink out of that same cup that they have been pouring in, you know. All that nonsense, it's all going to stop, you know. So yeah, man, with that, I'm looking for praise, sound, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Kakadash. The ones that are son of post of great millstone, shalom to the overlap of this video, said of shalom.